if you prefer to follow there. I hope everyone is doing great. All right. I'm thinking we're good to go here. Okay. All right, here we go. Hi, everybody. It's Nancy. Hope you're having a great day. Happy Thursday. So glad to come live with you all. Probably if you're catching the replay or this part of the video, that means you're catching the replay. It says was live above my head. Just type hashtag replay. That way I can welcome you. And the keyword, if you would like it, is SPICE, S-P-I-C-E. And as you guys know, I'm out of tape. So I'm going to put my ruler down here to try to help. We're going to do a little painting. So we're going to try to help keep that straight. Let's see. Let me see who's on. Okay. Might go up just a little bit from my line, because that seems like a real thin amount. Okay, so this is a tag from the Chalk Spot. Very inexpensive, but very nice quality, honestly. So when you get here, say hi. And we are going to paint this. Oh, it says that. Looks like everybody's here. All right, everybody's... Hi, Susan. How are you? Welcome, welcome. Who else is on? Dawn is here. Wendy. Hi, Wendy. Hi, Lena. How are you doing? Okay, we're going to paint this. Oh, this is why I had this. You guys, I cut these 5-gallon paint stir sticks a while ago in the package. And they are like perfect to raise my crafts up from the table so I don't get as much paint on my table. Hi, Nina. I did have a good day. Thank you for asking. Appreciate it very much. Did I hit? I did not. Let me set my live notification. If you're not in the broadcast channel, make sure you join there, you guys. I posted some information there earlier today. You don't want to miss on that. Christina Porter, I am so glad you're here. To give my first time watching, to give something to do. Well, I hope I give you something to do. I would love to be bored for just a little bit. All right, we're going to paint the bottom of this tag with our espresso chalk paste. And I don't even think I'm going to water it down. A lot of times, you guys know, I love the watered down look because it does really look stained. But I think we're going to just keep it like a dark brown. And we're going to do this again at the top. If you have painter's tape, you're going to want to lay your tape down. I am out and have been way too busy to go to the store to get more. I may end up having to get it on Amazon. You just never know with me. Hi, Mary. How are you? Hope you're doing good. So, guys, if you missed it in my broadcast channel, I spent hours. I cannot tell you how many hours. Well, I could guess. Like 5 hours after school yesterday. Cutting and posting all of the... I did all the size A, all the size B, all of the new sizes, F and G in cutouts. Oh my goodness, my mouth is not catching up with my brain. You know what? This is going to be better with just my free hand. Anyway, I did all the cutouts for those sizes is what I'm trying to get at yesterday, and they're all on my Etsy site. Everything else is cut. I just haven't had time, so I have to cut everything and take pictures and then post them. There were not enough hours in my rest of my day after school yesterday to get them all photographed and onto Etsy. So if you're looking for something that's not there, I am doing all of them this time. All of the holiday launch will be posted on my site, hopefully today. If not, for sure by the end of tomorrow, okay? So that was my big announcement. They are so fun, Christina. And honestly, they brought me so much confidence because I'm very creative. And I loved like making things, but then I'd get to like the lettering or the details, and then some of my projects just looked, I mean, not great. The concept was good, but then when I found chalk, I mean, I watched people for hours and hours. Of course, I found everybody like in 2020, the end of 2020, the beginning of 2021. And so I had more time on my hands because it was during those days when you were stuck inside. And I thought, that is really interesting. So I actually started using ink instead of, I finally convinced myself to buy something as I got closer to Christmas. And I started making Christmas pajamas is what I did. And then I just jumped in and became a designer is what I did. By February, I was a designer and going live on Facebook. I was a very quick sell. Very quick. Hi, Sissy. Thank you. Hi, Sandy Nelson. Hi, Deborah. How are you? Hi, Denise. All right. So let's get this top heart painted also. Again, I kind of freehanded my line here, but mostly because I am out of tape. And I've been out of tape. This is not like a surprise. I knew I was out of tape, but it's fine. It's going to look great anyway, so I'm fine. I know it's going to look good anyway. We'll make it work. We're just going to paint this top and bottom. I might end up watering this down a little bit. I should have taken my little rope out. Hi, Teresa. How are you? I do go live on Thursday. This morning live. Oh, you're a designer. I see. I see what you're saying. You're just new to me. You're not new to chalk. And welcome, either way. All right. Good, Teresa. I'm so glad. Okay, I got my brush a little more wet, or a little wet. I didn't wet it to begin with. And I'm going to kind of do this second coat with a wet brush here. All right, we got our coats on. Hi, Lori. How are you? Yes, Sissy, I was like, I think I'm an anomaly. I met with my upline, which is your upline, guys, if you don't, not in the chalk world. Your upline is just the person you signed up under. I went through all the training that our team provides. You guys, our team, honestly, anyone on our team, we've always been the fastest growing team in chalk. Our leaders are always the ones winning all the awards. This is the team you want to be on 100%. 100%. They are always killing it at the award ceremony because they collaborate. All the leaders collaborate. There's tons of training. Everybody helps everybody, regardless of if you're on my team or someone else's team. We all help each other, and that's how we grow. It's so awesome. Oh, but you said you went live, Christina, so I thought you meant you were a designer, but maybe you go live with other things. That's awesome. Hi, Patricia. Oh, Donna, I'm finally 99.9%, should I say that? Like my normal self. 99.9, I'm going to say that. So, yay. Thank you for asking. I'm back to my, Energizer Bunny life. All right, now I'm going to paint this inside in Dune. Okay, so I am going to probably wet my brush a little bit. This is just a foam brush. I honestly, and I wouldn't even say you're just a crafter. Crafters, I think, are like the nicest people. Well, in this world, I want to say some of the nicest people I've met are crafters. So there you go. All right, we're going to probably do 2 coats with this. Thank you, Donna. You're so nice. So guys, if you're new or you're new to, or you didn't watch me the other day, we have a brand new launch. All the holiday things are locked and loaded on my site. I was saying I got all my cutouts done and on Etsy, all the smaller sizes. I don't have all the C's, D's, and E yet, but those are going to go up soon, either today or tomorrow. And I will let you know in the broadcast channel when those are done. Hi, Cindy. Hi, Jen. How are you? I had a great day. Honestly, you guys, I looked up at the clock this morning and it was 9:20. And it felt like it should have been, well past snack time, like, which means like an hour later. And I said to my teacher aide, oh my goodness, does this feel like the slowest day in the world? Nothing was wrong. Nothing was like, it's not because, you know, it's not like you guys, I teach kindergarten. So this is what I'm talking about. If you're new, welcome back, Wendy. It just was slow. And I think this is the problem. I am feeling better. Well, welcome from Wisconsin. I'm originally from Michigan, and but I live in North Texas right now. We've been here for about 15 years. Anyhow, I normally go about 100 miles an hour. And basically for the last 5 weeks, I've been going at about 50%. So when I start to feel better, like things get moving. They're rocking and they're rolling. Hi, Lacey. So, the point is, I have a small class this year, which is fine. And I had 2 children out. And I was feeling better. And on top of all of these ands, my class is the best class in probably 30 years of teaching that I've ever had. And they are done with their work so quick. Like I've said this before, I cannot give them enough. So I had to start pulling like some challenging things and like some fun challenging things and like figure out what challenges them. Anyway, so they're done. We have no kids. So I think it was more just I was not busy enough. And so that's a good thing in my world because I don't do well when I'm not feeling well. And I hate when anyway. So I'm just getting back to normal. It was kind of slow today, but I got busier. Once I realized why I felt like it was slow, I perked it up. And my class was like, what in the world is happening? I challenged them a little bit with something you would think would not be challenging. So hit the heart button if you remember Highlights magazine. The Highlights magazine. Like they're usually like, or at least they used to be, like in doctor's offices and like things for kids to do, right? Let me know if you know what that is. Or just hit the heart. Gosh darn it. Hit the heart button. So you guys know what I'm talking about, looks like. Awesome. So, see, we're very high academic. So my kids can add and they can, kindergarten, they can add and they can subtract and they can write and they can read, all these things. But I went and pulled out some old hidden pictures from the Highlights magazine. Those are hard, you guys. And then, like 2 minutes in and they're like, I need help. I can't do it. And yes, I think we did too, maybe. I don't know. We weren't very, I might have, my kids didn't, but anyhow, to me, it just made me laugh because they were like, they give up kind of easy. So I said, guys, don't give up. You can do this. And I said, you're not working with a friend yet. And yes, they're awesome. And they're really good, different kind of challenge than my kids nowadays anyway are used to. So I made them wait until like, I didn't even tell them that I was going to let them work together. I just kept saying, nope, can't work together yet. Nope. You can do it. Like, don't give up, blah, blah, blah. You can find it. And then I started giving them a little hints, like if they were looking for a particular thing. And with like 3 minutes left in our day, I said, okay, you can work with a friend. And then they started finishing. You guys, they got to learn to have a little grit. How else are they going to get through life? Don't give up on stuff, right? At least that's how I am. There's no way you're old enough to have been teaching 30 years. Oh, Jen, 100%. Send her. You're very nice, Jen, to say I'm not old enough, but I am 53 and a half years old. So 30 years, my friend, 30 years. Thank you for saying that, though. I'd love to look young. Thank you for the hearts. But anyway, that was my teacher moment today. And on top of all of that, you guys, I got probably the best compliment. I don't know if it's like ever, but we'll just call it this. I got one of the highest compliments. So I have in my classroom, one of the staff's children are in my class. And apparently she went into the office and said, and she works, she comes in and out of my class a lot. Yes, Cindy, I definitely am. Jen's 25. That's awesome, Jen. You can be 25 as long as you want. Anyway, apparently she went to the office and said, because my boss told me this later, she said, she came in and said, I just want you to know, I know you know that Nancy is a good teacher. I'm going to cry. I almost cried when she told me. But I did not realize how good of a teacher she was. And do you know all the amazing things that she's doing? So my boss told me this and I thought, oh, how nice was it for her to go to the office and say that to them? Like, she also mentioned something to me. She just said, I just love what I see you doing in here or whatever, but to go to my boss and say something like that really was so kind. Rhonda, kindergarten. I made a wood round today with napkins. It didn't turn out right. Can I get those napkins off of it? Unlikely. Deb, unlikely. You Mod Podged them on there? You guys, I was so flattered. You guys, definitely get tape. I'm really doing this in a terrible way. But we're going to YOLO it. Okay? I'll touch it up. It's fine. I thought it was so nice. And you know what? It made me want to be sure. And I try to do this. I'm not saying I'm perfect at it. But like when you see somebody doing something really well, it's so nice to go and compliment them. I think sometimes we think it. But people can be so self-conscious to the point, you guys, where before school started, I was crying. I'm being a little vulnerable here. One of my parents from last year requested to be in the other class, her next child to be in the other class. And I took it very personal. And I was crying to my boss. And I don't know if it had anything to do with me. My boss said no. I don't know. I was thinking it did. But to have someone do something so nice, it made me so sweet. Well, Okay, Cindy, you can get them off, but you're not in the sense of you're not going to be able to use them again. Are you? I interpreted your question, and I apologize. Maybe you didn't mean it that way. I interpreted it like, can you get them off and use them again? You definitely can't use them again. But you could use a power sander, like Cindy's brain was working differently than mine, probably the way you intended. You could definitely get a power sander and do it that way. I wouldn't try to hand sand them off. That might take a good long time. You guys, I'm trying to straighten this line out here. Maybe we'll put something here and it won't. Jen, who was it? We will all come give them a what for? Well, what do you mean? This was a kind thing. I don't know why. Maybe I missed something. It was so kind. Oh, who didn't want? Oh, you mean who didn't want to be in my class? You know what? It was real. My heart was broken. Teaching is very personal for me. So, you know, I can't just be like, well, I mean, that's their loss. I can't. I am not that person. Christina, I don't think I'm freezing on my end here, so it might be your internet. I really need to just leave this line alone. This is my last attempt, I promise. It was sad. And you know what? I had a really good rapport with her other child, so I don't think, again, I think if it was me, they would tell me at school, because they wouldn't not tell me, but I took it personal. Yeah, I know. Torches and pitchforks is what we're gonna do. Thank you, Cindy. Okay, let's try this. Now that you're done with I'm done with my story. My good news story, you guys. That made me feel really good to hear that. I mean, I think I'm good at teaching, but you know, it's nice when somebody agrees who's also a teacher. That can also, you know, set the bar high. All right, so I don't know if you guys have grabbed these tags yet, but they're really nice. This one is 9 by 12. You can also get them in, I think it's like 5 by 7. I've done one before. These come in a pack of 2 and they're double-sided. So these ones are a little smaller, but you can get the 9 by 12. And if you're in the club, you guys, these will match your club every month. So if I were you, I would grab a few packs. Oh, okay, Christina, I don't know. Facebook can be, sometimes it's the book of faces. Hi, Robin Kelly. All right, I'm going to sand and wax this whole thing because we are going to do, we're going to chalk on this whole tag, okay? And then I'm going to go back out to my garage and get all my Etsy orders up and going. Keyword is spice, you guys. If you haven't hit this, type the word spice yet, go ahead and do that. That will give you a message from my page with all the things. Information on all the products I'm using, the perks program, if you want to be a designer on my team, if you'd like to enroll in the club, all of that will be in with the keyword, okay? Okay, this just smooths out the paint. If you're new, this is just going to smooth out the paint. Yeah, if you heat, thank you. Who said they like my hair? Thank you, Robin. Deb, I might have missed it. If you were trying to use the napkin again, that's not happening. But if you don't want to use it again, just sand away. I think that would be your best bet. All right, let's add some surface wax. Okay, now this is just going to protect the paint that we put on here so it doesn't lift up, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and add a little bit of wax. This pad needs to be cleaned so badly. I have a second one. I'm just not sure where it is right at the moment. You can apply you don't need this, but you can apply it with, you know, an old sock, or I do recommend a cloth of some kind. That's up to you though. You just put a little bit on and you're going to want to buff it back. And because my wax pad is loaded with wax, I'm going to go ahead and just use paper towel. Because you don't want this to feel sticky. You want it to feel smooth, okay? Thank you for the hearts, you guys. Okay, so this is smooth. You know what's really cool about this? I don't know if you guys like this look or not. But look at the dark brown up here. This is where the espresso is. This reminds me of like paneling. Do you remember, does anybody, my house growing up had paneling on it. Let me know if you had paneling in your house. But let me see if I can angle it a little better. It's too glary in the beginning. Let me turn it to the side and see. I don't know. Up close, it looks... There we go. It looks a little bit like paneling, which I think is kind of funny. Okay, we're going to do two things. We're going to use two different transfers. We're going to start with this one. This one says pumpkin spice and Jesus Christ. I'm not even going to use any cutouts today. You guys had paneling? Isn't that funny? I love thinking about those days. All right. This is reusable. It's a silk screen here. Okay, this is why we call it a transfer and not a stencil, or at least that's what I call it, okay? So what you want to do, these are sticky. You want to add some fuzz to the back of it the first couple times you use it. Yeah, me too, Deb. We had it, did I have it upstairs? I think we just had it all downstairs in our living room. And my dad, he like did our whole house. So like he built the upstairs, he had it roughed in, and then he did everything. So I'm sure he put it up. Yeah, you guys had it too, right? Remember that dark paneling? I don't know why it made me think of that, but it did. Okay, so I'm going to start with my, what am I going to start with? I think I'm going to start with the cup because I want to get that in the right spot. Okay, I'm going to put the cup so it's just on the edge here. And we're going to make this so simple. You had paneling too. Isn't that funny, Kathy? I don't know why it's funny. It just, I guess it was, I don't know, it was the style. Or it's what you could afford. I don't know. Upstairs in our bedrooms were just painted. So I'm going to use marmalade because apparently this is my favorite color of the season. And I'm just going to go in and do all of the cup with marmalade. Okay, so you just take your chalk paste, put it like on the end of your squeegee here, and then just run it over your design. Okay, it's very easy. My kindergartners can do it, you can do it. Okay, this group, I took it in with my hardest class in the history of 30 years, and they had no problem. And that's saying something. They were a real behavior group. It was not a fun way to live. But anyway, they could do this. And if they can, you can. All right, so then we're going to lift. You just want to pull it up really gently. And if you miss anything, oh, that's not missed. You just lay it back down. Look at how cute that is. Look at that. Isn't that so cute? I love it. We're going to dry that, and then we're going to put the words on so they fit. What do you guys think? Okay, that dries really quick on its own, but I just hit it with the heat tool. It dries in like 5 seconds. Okay, now, thank you for the heart, you guys. Okay, now we're going to worry about our words. I mean, not really worry, but place them. So I'm going to have to piece it together so I make sure that I can get all the words where I want them. So I'm going to put, really, it was pumpkin that was kind of too long. Thank you, Wendy. And that's so pretty. I've been loving it, and I'm not a big orange person, but apparently this year I am. Every year I have a different like vibe. And it just, I guess it depends on what like paste colors they come out with and all of that and just what I gravitate toward. I really would have thought, I use Lagoon a lot. But honestly, if I went and counted all my crafts, I'd probably use Marmalade on 90% of them. That would not surprise me. So guys, it's a good idea to stir your paste, and I'm getting a lot better about it because every so often, they say every time, I don't do it every time, clearly. But if you do it every couple of times, and just any paste that's like dry and hard around the edge, you just kind of stir it into the rest, it will revive, okay? You can always revive your paste. Oh, you can't? How about, oh, here, let me do this. How about now? Is this better? Tell me if it's better. We're going to do the rest of this in espresso. Oh, see, yeah, it looks like you can see now. Sorry, guys. Guys, if you can never see, if I'm too close, just let me know. There's so many moving parts to go live that sometimes we miss something, or I do anyway. Sometimes I miss something. I'm not going to speak for anybody but me. Oh, good. See, don't feel free. Now, if your comments are in the way, you can handle that. But for me, I can move around if I need to. Sorry, guys. See, look, you're all saying much better. I wish I would have known sooner. Okay, so I'm just going to dry this because I don't want it to smudge. All right, and then we're going to get the rest of this. I guess it needs to be like here. So we'll just have to move each row. And I'm just kind of lining up the bottom edge of those letters. Even though they're kind of in, you know, they're in the wrong spot, it still will help keep it spaced better. So we'll do spice and... If you've been following me for any length of time, you know I rarely do the designs the way they come. I have my own look at them, and you can do that too. So hopefully it gives you guys other ideas also. All right. Now, if you are not, you know, if Jesus is not your thing, or you don't follow him, you could totally, I think I'm going to do this. I don't know, maybe I'll do like 2 sets of these. And then do this at the bottom. Okay, I'm changing up my design. Anyway, you could totally just do pumpkin spice or hello pumpkin and just move your letters around. I'm going to try to use this whole transfer. So where would the middle be here? I'm going to put this down here. Hopefully this is going to be right here. I'm going rogue now for my own plan, which I do sometimes. But I'm just thinking we could put those stars somewhere else. All right. Now I didn't say this, but I put this on the backer sheet just so it would keep the paste from smearing anywhere else. That's why I was doing that, in case that wasn't obvious to you. Okay, and then I'm going to do something with the stars here. So I'm just not sure if I want to. Let's see. I decided I'm going to do these stars in orange. So glad you were here, Christina. We're almost done. All right, we're going to do these stars here. And then we might do a little flipperoo here. And add some more next to it. I may just flip it upside down. Just like so. It's not going to be exact, but it'll be close. And then we'll see if we need any more. I'm kind of, I want to leave it. Do I want to do two more? Let's do one on each side. I'm going to put one more here. I'm just playing around at this point with the design. You do what you like. I'm going to add one more star right here. Hopefully I didn't get it too far away. Ta-da! We did it. Thanks for sprinkling, Darlene. How are you? All right, we're gonna you just clean this in your sink. Regular water and a board eraser. I'm just gonna spray it because we're just gonna add some doodads on it and be done with this. So what I'm thinking is this was originally fed through here. Okay, like this. What do you guys think? I'm so glad you like it. Now, I'm not a big bow person, so I kind of think sometimes bows are overdone myself. You do you if you think there needs to be bows, but what I'm thinking, whoops, is is I'm going to get my things out, my doodads. Hi, Janet. How you doing? And I'm going to find, I don't know if I have any big enough. I really want some beads. Those are not beads. I may not have big enough ones. Let's see what we got. The largest bead I have is this big. I mean, both threads are not going to fit through here. I don't think. Let's try to tape them together and see if I can get it in. I'm doing good. Thank you guys for the hearts. I'm going to try my best to tape these ends together and get real tight so I can feed these beads on. Love how it turned out. Thank you, Donna. Okay, now let's see if we can get some beads on here. Oh, we can. Look at that. Gotta be a little, is this smaller? Well, these are smaller, so now I don't know. Here we go. Well, I got a piece of tape on the end, so that's working out in my favor. I need to order more beads, you guys. Maybe 3. I got one big one and some smaller ones. I don't know how many I want. 5? Hang on. Oh, please. Of course, my battery. I hardly ever use that. I don't know why the battery's dead. Okay. I think that's plenty. Let's get my scissors and we'll trim that off. Well, now I need, oh, well, here. We need to take this off. We'll just cut it. That's fine. And then I guess in order for them to stay, we need to tie a knot. Thank you, Cindy. I'm so glad you like it. I'm telling you, these tags are great. They're light, but they don't feel like cheap or anything like that. Like if you're worried about it, they're not. They're not super heavy, but they are nice. Okay. And today I thought, why haven't I used, like, just because I can't see it, because it's in my, that's just a Nancy ADHD problem. Okay, now we're going to get some of this rope and we're just going to finish it off like this. So let's see. Thank you, Brenda. Is this working now? We're going to just put a bead right here, which is why I kept saying stop worrying about it. I can make my line straight with something else. Now, am I going to have enough rope now that I did it that way? Yes, I have this one. Okay, and then we'll do the same thing here. You guys, I still have to go back to school because tonight is the teddy bear sleepover. And they all brought their teddy bears to school, or stuffed animals. And then we sprayed them with magic spray, and then we're going to see what they get into over the night. So I get to go back to school and take a whole bunch of pictures, which is so fun. It's just, I like it, but I don't like it because it's a lot of work. But, I mean, they will love it tomorrow, and they will be so excited with all of the things. So it'll be worth it because they'll love it. Okay, so then these we just tuck behind. Just tuck these behind or trim them off if you want. right. Now, guys, before you make any purchases with this tag or anything, make sure you're in the Perks program. That's going to save you 30% off of everything. All the brand new things that launched yesterday, you don't want to pay retail, guys. There's really no reason. I mean, even if you're brand new, you're going to save 30%. It lets you shop for 30 days, 30% off. There's no reason not to. You can cancel it at any time. That you have the control over that. It's not like a subscription or whatever. You're able to go in and cancel that if you're not using it. I mean, it is kind of a subscription, but it's not like you have to wait a certain period of time. If you did it for 1 month and you don't want to be in it anymore, get out. But save yourself 30%, you guys. All right, what do you think? After I get all my glue strings off, I think this is really, really cute. The little handle here, the little string. I hope you guys love it. I think it looks cute. All right, thanks for hanging out with me, everybody. I hope you have a great rest of your night. Type the word spice, check your messages, and we'll see you soon. Bye, everybody. Thanks, guys.